Hello friends, my name is Razamasu. Today we'll discuss about the topic non-core roles in Scrum. Friend, today's topic is very important, and if you are a student and studying project management, agile in Scrum, so today's topic is very important, and at least with reference to exam point of view, at least 4 to 5 questions will definitely be there in the exam in which your concept related to non-core roles in Scrum will be judged. Secondly, friend, if you are a professional project manager or Scrum Master and you are working in any company where Scrum Framework is very important and they are working according to the Scrum Framework and they are managing the projects using the Scrum methodology, so again, this is necessary for you to understand the concept of non-core roles in the Scrum and how to deal with those stakeholders. So let's start. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you. So let's start. Non-core roles in Scrum. Uh, Guys, first of all, we have to understand that what is Scrum actually. Before going into the deep, Scrum is a framework which we use for management of software projects. It is a new approach which we normally generally use to manage the projects. The traditional approach is called as Waterfall Approach, and the new approach nowadays is called as a Scrum approach. So first of all, we have to understand what is Scrum framework, how we can use a Scrum framework to manage the projects of software, and what is the difference nowadays, why we are using Scrum. Um, Friend, let's take an example here just to understand the concept of Scrum here. For example, we have to implement a e-commerce solution for a customer, and there are multiple tasks are there in which we have to, you can say, just take for an example, like for example we have 40 tasks which we have to complete so that we can deliver the product to the customer. Okay, if we use the waterfall approach, which is a traditional approach, traditional means that very common approach to use for software project management, that first of all we will plan, develop, test, and then deploy. Okay, so this is the traditional approach. Like, we plan all the 40 tasks first, then develop the 40 tasks, then test the 40 tasks, and then deploy 40 tasks at production. Okay, so this is the sequence in which we work: plan, develop, test, and then deploy. So this is the traditional approach which we use for management of software projects. Now, if we use the Scrum framework, what is the difference came here? In Scrum, there is a concept of sprint. A sprint is a 3 to 4 weeks time period in which we deliver the things to customer. So sprint says that we take first 10 tasks. Each sprint will contain 10 tasks. The sprint 1 will have 10 tasks. We plan, develop, test, and deploy these 10 tasks. Then the sprint 2 will start. The next 10 tasks will take, and sprint 3 we will take the next 10 tasks, and sprint 4 will take the last 10 tasks. So that in that way, till we reach at sprint 4, we will complete all the 40 tasks in which we have to complete the whole project. So till we reach at sprint 4, the whole project will be completed. So this is called, as friend, the concept of Scrum, actually a Scrum framework. A Scrum means the agile approach in which we deliver the things in an iterative approach. Like, we deliver the things, we get the feedback from customer, and then we evolve and we improve the product. This is called as the concept of Scrum. Now, in a Scrum friend, there are two types of roles. One type is called as core roles, and the second type of role is called as non-core role. Core roles are product owner, Scrum Master, and a Scrum team. These are the three core roles in a Scrum: product owner, Scrum Master, and the Scrum team. Product owner is a person who has the clear vision of the product which we are going to deliver, and you can think of this person as a leader of the project. He is the, you can say, a customer voice. He contact with the customer, get the information from the customer what we needs to deliver, and he communicate all this information to Scrum team. A Scrum team is a you think of these persons as the development team. Development team means the software engineers, software designers, database engineers, production deployment team, application development team. So these are the core team. Core team means that they have all the information, technical information, how to develop the required project. Remember, friend, one thing, that the Scrum team is the self-organized team. They know what to develop, they know how to develop the things, and they are independent. A Scrum Master is the another role, who is called as the facilitator for a person, for facilitator for the team, and he knows that how to deal with the team. He is the facilitator among the product owner and the Scrum team. He has the complete knowledge about the Scrum and methodologies and the best practices for the Scrum. Now, friend, there are three core roles: product owner, Scrum Master, and the Scrum team. Now, the today's topic is related to non-core roles in a Scrum. Non-core role means, friend, that the roles can be described as those roles that are not mandatory required for the Scrum project and that may not be continuously or directly involved in the Scrum process. Friend, core roles means that the roles which are on which the project is totally completely dependent, like for without those roles a project cannot be proceed. However, the non-core roles means that the roles which are not mandatory required for the project. Without those core roles we can proceed, we can progress actually. So what are those non-core roles in a project, in a Scrum? First of all, the stakeholder means, friend, is a general term, like any customer, end user, sponsor. All those are the non-core roles. So non-core roles means, friend, that for example, end user, just take an example. So non-core end user is a person. There are multiple, several end users are there. So a stakeholder is a general term, means any person who has a stake in a project. Stake means interest in a project. He can be a negative stakeholder, he can be a positive stakeholder. However, negative positive means that, for example, few persons says that they want a success of a project. However, few persons says that they don't want a success of project because they have some other interest. So however, stakeholder means, friend, any person who has a stake, who has a interest in a project. You can think of any person, like project manager is a stakeholder, customer is a stakeholder, end user is a stakeholder, senior management is also a stakeholder. So stakeholder means, friend, this is a general term which we use for any person who has interest in a project. He will be called as stakeholder. Now, customer is the individual or the organization that acquires the project product, service, or other result. For example, ABC Bank want to develop a mobile application for through which users can do fund transfer or IBFT. So customer here is the bank. ABC Bank is the customer who wants to build the mobile application. So customer is a person who acquires the project or service or some result. So he or the organization will be called as the customer. User are the individuals, the organization that directly uses the project, product, service, or other result. Friend, users are the person which uses the product. For example, if you are launching a mobile application, and like for example, you download the application and you purchase something from by using the mobile application. So you are the user means the person who is using the service, who is utilizing the service. He will be called as the user. Sponsor generally we called as a person who basically provide the resources, support for the project, who basically provide the fund. It's a very common thing that most of the people think that a sponsor is a person who just provide the fund. However, friend, sponsor is more than that. He has authority to provide resources, he provides support for the project. So sponsor is a person who has the authority for resources and the funding as well. Vendor basically, for example, vendor include external individual or organization that provide product or services that are not within the core competencies of the project organization. For example, friend, you are implementing a mobile application. For example, you are implementing e-commerce solution and you need the hardware for your server, so you contact with some vendor to provide you the hardware. Okay, so the vendor who is providing you the hardwares, for example laptop, etc., so we will be called as the vendor. Scrum guidance body, this is another stakeholder. The Scrum guidance body is an optional role. It generally consists of a group of documents or a group of experts who are typically involved with defining objectives related to quality, government regulations, security, and other key organizational parameters. So friend, thanks a lot for your time. I hope you like this video. If you like, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for your time. Thank you.